Hello, everyone. With the onset of COVID-19, our life has not been the same. We have mandatory wearing of masks, we have mandatory COVID testing, social distancing. These are all part of our life. And when we want to travel, certain countries have protocols where they ban travel, such as the Philippines. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about dual citizenship and why my family and I chose this option for me to go ahead and get my dual citizenship so we can get an early entry into the Philippines. So follow along with me as I discuss this with you. I think the Philippines is one of the most beautiful places in the world. It is not just the many unspoiled beaches, the breathtaking mountains, the blue seas, and the lagoons that make this place very appealing, but most importantly, the beautiful and hospitable people. Who would not want to go to this paradise and take in the warm sun, relax, and eat a bountiful of fruits? Prior to COVID-19, there were no travel bans. A tourist, all they have to do was present their passport, U.S. and Philippine passport, and they were allowed to stay in the country for 60 days. It's been about a year and a half now since my husband and I went to the Philippines. We've had flight cancellations because of the travel ban, and it's really frustrating, and I'm sure a lot of Filipinos have had the same feelings and frustrations because they were not allowed to go back home to be with their family and their loved ones. Now, in my situation, I was born in the Philippines. My father brought me here to the United States when I was 10 years old, and I became naturalized citizen of the United States. I do not have a Filipino passport, but I do have an American passport, and I am married to an American. Now, in order for my husband and I to travel to the Philippines, we travel under a category of being a tourist. Also, we could travel under the Balikbayan program. Balikbayan is when a Filipino is both citizen of the United States and the Philippines. And by doing so, this gives them privileges. One is the right to travel. Two is the right to purchase real estate property in the Philippines. Three is the ability to be a business owner. And fourth is to vote. There have been numerous changes in the Philippine protocol as far as travel. There's been so many of them, it's really kind of confusing. Let me read you some of these changes. So on October 10th, 2020, it says foreign tourists were not allowed. A 9A visa are required for foreign nationals and immediate family. The Balikbayan program is suspended. Former Filipino citizens are encouraged to get their dual citizenships if they want to come to the Philippines. Those that were allowed would have to undergo COVID testing and 1 to 2 days of quarantine. Now on February 1st, 2021, it says passport, birth certificate, pre-booked hotel for 7 days, COVID test registration, and Trace app downloaded in your cell phone are required. Foreign spouses and children, there was no need for visas traveling with Filipinos. If you are foreign nationals, you need visas and supporting documents, a pre-booked hotel stay for 7 nights, COVID registration, and Trace app in your cell phone. So in the month of April, we decided that I should go ahead and get my dual citizenship. So our state of Washington was assigned to San Francisco Consulate, and so that's what we ended up doing. Got on the plane and went to San Francisco. You must make an appointment with the consulate that you are assigned to, and you must do it online. You can't expect to be seen right away by just showing up in front of them. Now, when we were trying to get an appointment, we had difficulty because the website wasn't working and there was no available appointments. And so we tried to call them, but nobody answered the phone, and we left messages and nobody returned our call. So what we ended up doing was going through Facebook and got in touch with somebody from the Los Angeles Consulate, who in turn referred us to somebody in San Francisco. And so with the exchange of email, we were finally able to get an appointment. Now, on your appointment, you must bring the form filled out, the application for retention or reacquisition of your Philippines citizenship. You must also bring in a copy of your birth certificate. If you don't have one, you can get it at the Philippines Statistical Authority. You also need a copy of your naturalized citizenship papers. You need a copy of your U.S. or Philippine passport. You also need to bring a copy of your marriage certificate and 3 2x2 photo of yourself with a white background, and $50 cash or money order. Now, if you have more questions as far as details on what to do, you can go to the link below and it'll take you to the Philippine Consulate. Now, as for me, I did not have my birth certificate, so I asked a friend of mine in the Philippines to go to the Philippine Statistical Authority to get one. And so she did. So they will allow someone in the Philippines to get it for you. So I'm going to read to you now another protocol from the Philippines. This one is dated May 1st, 2021. It says former Filipino citizens and their foreign spouses and children, regardless of age, are allowed entry under the Balikbayan program as long as they are not from a non-visa required country. You must pre-book 7-day stay at a hotel for quarantine. So that means that since I now have a dual citizenship, I can now go in, and so can my American husband without a visa. All I need to do is bring my marriage certificate, my U.S. passport, and my Philippine dual citizenship. Besides the Philippine Consulate, your airline would be a good source of information in regards to your travel plans. Well, that's all for now, and I want to thank you for watching. Please look forward to my next video, which will be about our flight to the Philippines and also our arrival at the airport. Bye.